I'm resharing the screen. So basically, I'll summarize like what problems we are facing while running this application. So first, we are doing the delete all student. So while doing the delete all student, I will copy. I think here I have written somewhere. Okay, there might be some spelling mistakes, so we can ignore that. So delete all student we implemented there. We faced the problems like first problem was like URL slash was missing. So that will also like URL, we have to make sure like our URLs are correct. Second thing is related to produces and consumes. So this like I think in one session we need to make clear like when we have to use the produces, when to consumes. Uh, and then what else was problem there? Delete all, yeah, get and delete all students. So this, I think these two problems we faced in this, and yeah, then direct to delete all call is there. Then second thing was delete by ID. So in delete by ID call, we have to take care like this part we have to add with the curly brackets. That is the mandatory thing. Whatever the roll number you will pass, that you need to add into the URL also with curly bracket. So this URL part, second mistake we can consider, like this might happen basically. So that we have to make sure like we are not repeating that. So that is the related to get by ID part. Now, now coming to the update, that is update is the most important part because we are writing our own query here actually. Like how to write our own query that we learned from the update call. So same in the future, like if we have to write our own insert call, delete call, or any query if we want to run. So for that we need to follow the update flow, like how the update flow is working. Same way our like personal query will work basically. So if we like let me see. Okay, so so I will show you like how we are writing the query. Basically, that is the main important thing. So I have created update call because there is no predefined method for update. So first thing is like we have to write our own method for update, and the roll number we need to pass. Like two argument will pass. One is the student object, complete object, and then roll number for identifying that student. And in the argument of DAO layer, we need to write individual elements which we want to update, because our query will not take the all the value like all students at the same time, but our query will take the variable one by one. Like first it will update the student name, then it will update the class name, then it will update any other variable. So to pass the values one by one in the DAO layer, we have to write like in this way one by one values. So now if you see update query, this update query, this is a general query similar to the our SQL queries only. The difference is we can see here like what difference basically in the Java query, like SQL this is known as Hibernate query. Basically Hibernate JP8 is connecting for the database. So this is the Hibernate query. Hibernate is helping us to connect to the database in Java, Hibernate query. And if you write the SQL query, so what is the difference? So in SQL query, if we write anything to update, so first we have to write the update, then a table name is student, then we do the setting the variable. So set student name, and then value of that student name, comma, class name, then value of the class name. So this we do, and we write the where class, where roll number equal to value of the, so that will be the integer. So suppose I'm taking here the 3. So this is the like SQL query, and this is our Hibernate query, that is also known as the HQL query. If you compare both of them, so you can see, so you can see like almost it is the similar. This update up to the set, this is the similar. Only the difference is coming with colon. Colon is student name, here we are giving. Here we are giving direct values. Here colon is student class we are giving. Here we are direct like giving the direct value. So in database we can give our direct values. But in Java, we cannot pass the direct value because that value is driven from the postman. So postman that values we are sending. So to map the postman values to the Java, we have to use the colon basically, like simple format if I see. So that colon, and that column is a like any value, a student name can be anything. In this format if you write, so that value will be the fixed. But here if you write in this format, so anything if you change from postman, automatically it will pick up. So in this it is a dynamic value, and here it is a static value. So because of that we are passing with the colon. So in Java HQL format we can write in the query this way. That is the one thing, like how to write the query in the Java, and then how these values will map up with that query from the Java method that you can see here. So this is the query part. For this writing two things it is required, at the rate modifying and at the rate query. This is inside the DAO layer, like these two annotations will be required inside the DAO layer, and then like above the method name. This part is above the method name, and update student is our method name. So this is the above the method name, and then in the method name we have to write the @param for the mapping this Java value. So string student name, when we are writing, this is a Java value, but this student name is a part of the query. This colon, whatever we are passing in the colon, colon comma colon, after that the same value we are taking here. Now same thing for the student name, student class, basically whatever we are passing here. So that is coming from the student class, this second line. So this variable, and third variable we are passing as in where clause. In where clause we are writing the roll number. So that is student. So this student last student roll number is coming from here, and this is getting mapped with a Java variable into variable with @param. So why we are using @param? To create the linking between the variables of the Java, that is in the Java data type, and to with the string in the query. Query is a string only. So in the string of the query, that @param will help us to map. So this part is clear to you, Amit, right? Like how we are mapping this now to the query.
Yes.
So this is like three things is required: @modifying, @query, and inside the @query we have in double quotes string format. Basically, we have to write our query, and then in the method arguments we have to write. So I will like share all these details. I am in this project and everything for you, and to everyone to go through the project and see and do the practice for that, like as a study material. And so this is the one thing like required inside the repository class, I mean DAO class. But if you remember one more thing we did, like in service layer, we added @transactional. Why @transactional? Because suppose some query did not run successfully, or it gives some exception. So for example, if we are running this query, this complete query we are running. So when we are running our query, for example, it's going in the sequence. It will go to the student table. It will update the student name. But what happened, there is suppose some problem occurred in this while updating this class name. So problem occurred in the class name, but student name already got updated. So half of the part of the query is done, and half of the part it is remaining, and we got some exception. So in that case, the database is partially updated. So that is the problem. Like database should not be partially updated. Either the whole row should be updated successfully, or it should revert the change. So for reverting that, whenever like our database will update half of the row, so in that case we have to revert our change. So if I have updated the student name, that I have to revert. So how Java will revert its code with @transactional. It will make sure @transactional will make sure like either the complete row is updated or none of the row is updated. Okay. So you got like why we are using @transactional. So that is maintaining a transaction, single transaction. We can sometimes we tell this as session also. Like in if you are UI developer, then we maintain a single session. So similar way in Java for the database connection, we are maintaining a single transaction. So this is the use of @transactional. So yeah. So to summarize here. So this is the query part. Then @transactional we are using in service layer to make sure whole row updated, or if a partial update happen, then we have to run the rollback query in the database. Rollback query will automatically run. So that is requirement of @transactional. For the query part, we can write like what is required @query. For update, I'm writing like in update flow, what we have to do @query. Then like SQL query, like SQL query, Hibernate query, we are writing. Then second thing is modifying on the method name. And third thing will be param. So these two variables we are using. This we are using above method name. Second one also we are using above method name. So I mean it's the clear now. I will just change this, but it's clear to you, Amit, right? Like what flow we are following.
Yes.
Okay. Any doubt like where you want to explain or something like you stuck or you did not understood here in control
No, no, no.
we have made.
Like delete mapping or delete updating or put mapping. It
Yeah.
is similar as other.
Yeah, all flow is similar basically. Only the
Uh,
whatever the exception we are getting, the fresher person also they when they will create the application, they will also get the similar error. So I think
that,
that is good.
I think there's main problem is when we are updating or something is putting in that line like that there is any problem in the slash. Main
Yeah.
problem is slash.
Right.
One more thing, Arun.
Yeah.
Arthur param.
This one.
What is the meaning? Arthur param.
So param
It's a
variable.
parameter.
Yeah, so here if you see, we are using the request param. Okay, request param, this meaning of the request param is it is coming from some request body, like this postman. So this is a HTTP request. So in that case, we are using request param. But when in DAO layer, we are going. So here this one @param. So its meaning is
At,
like like parameter basically. Parameter in Java we pass the parameters, right? This argument is also
okay.
known as parameters. This one argument.
Okay.
Suppose I copy this,
Okay.
so this is known as parameter or argument. So the same parameter it is known as param. So to identify with the same name, we are using @param.
The request param and at the param are
Yeah,
not same.
No, both are not same. Request param is for the HTTP request, which is coming like get call, post call, put call, delete call. This is related to the
Okay.
HTTP parts at the rate request param. But at the rate param, if you see this imports, so at the rate param, this one at this import, if you see, so at the rate param, it is coming from query. So this is data dot
Very.
repository. And if you go
Okay.
in the like controller and see the request param, like from where that like that code is coming up. So request param is coming from Spring framework. Okay, Spring
Okay.
framework dot annotation. But at the rate param is coming from repository.
Spring repository. Okay.
So this repository is part of the JPA dependency. Basically, JPA we have used now in starting. So it is Java Persistent API. So it is part of that one, but this is part of the Spring Web dependency. This is part of the web dependency.
Okay.
So like one is the database level. At the rate param is database level, and at the rate request param is the HTTP request level, like get, put, post, delete.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think okay. Anything else?
No, Arun.
Yeah, so I think now the we have completed one like sample project with all the request. So what I'm planning of is into the coming sessions, like what we can make it more clear. Like one thing is what I can share, like kind of the to-do list or topics, like topics level every day what we are discussing that we can take up. Then as a note I can share the same thing like in the class note we do na, so same way like Google class note I can share as
Okay.
a tutorial. And there also like these notes I can update there. And then project I will update on the GitHub. Like GitHub is a project upload I can do on the GitHub. So that's why in starting I asked to create the GitHub profile. So
Basically,
there,
our project in GitHub, SQL query, whatever.
this one like same project. First, what I have explained the two projects. So this one is Spring Framework. I will update. This is Spring Boot demo, so that you can use
Okay.
that for the reference for creating the new projects. So that
Okay.
I can upload, and I'll share the links. Okay. So that is like project related stuff. And then same thing like whatever we follow in that class notes, tutorial. I mean, there we in Google there is not a class session. So same way
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
we can
Yeah.
follow similar to that basically. So that in recording it will be there for future reference. Anyone can go to their Google account and from their classroom they can revise. So all the classroom features we can use that.
Okay.
And then if there anything we are getting stuck on the video level, so the video will be also present on YouTube, so we can refer that also, and we can share also like if needed to
Yeah,
some.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
video is also available, class notes will be also available, project will be also available on the GitHub account, and the summary topics I will also upload. So I mean, as everything will be there, only now next step will be pending for as an action item we can say to create the sample project. So, like whenever you will start, like you are ready to create your own project, then like your setup part is done, Amit. Like, let me stop the.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I will pause. Pause. Where to pause this recording? Is recording.